The player towards CT hasn't actually peaked yet, so he could have a chance to maybe get the bomb plant player on site. Well, Taz specifically finds the kill to ensure there isn't an unlikely clutch out of this, but HONORIS only have 4 rounds on the CT side. HELLRAISERS, they've had a dominant, such a controlling T-half.
Absolutely great work from the CIS boys. Flaric leading the way on 17 kills in the first half alone. And it's just been a real great performance from these HELLRAISER guys. They've not looked like slowing down whatsoever on their T side. And as they head over towards the CT side, the pistol presenting an opportunity to quickly close out this match. HONORIS, they're desperate for the pistol just to stay in things. Even if they convert, they'd be down, you'd expect, an 11-7 scoreline before the full guns do come through. And even at that point, HELLRAISERS would have a 4-round advantage heading into the gun rounds on the CT side. It's just such a monumentous task ahead if HONORIS want to look for the comeback.
It feels like they've got too much work to do. It's not impossible to pull off by any means. And just to point out, HONORIS won their opening best-of-1 game last week and still failed to qualify for the playoffs. So it's turning to be the complete upside. And look at those odds. Oh.
That is fairly accurate, at least for my money. Our partners over at LootBet definitely thinking HELLRAISERS can close this one out. And I mean, if anything, those odds just show the guys of LootBet have been watching this, because I absolutely agree with them. HELLRAISERS have not looked like slowing down.
Talking about slowing down, HONORIS were looking at least towards the B site on the offense. They've got to really get something achieved on pistol. Kalinka already allowed to find that initial headshot, and as they try and march in, yes, the flash did something, and yes, there is the smoke there, and while HONORIS could get a bomb plant out of this, HR, they're more or less already prepared to play retake and already starting to push in. JR now won't find much resulting bullets.
The Glocks haven't found spam just yet, and Stomp gets one, but look at that! Absolutely clinical. JR at the end with a double, but HR, they get the 4 kills in reply for Stomp's 1. Beautiful pistol defense of the B bomb site. And now HONORIS are in serious trouble. Look, you can see them fighting at long range, and just a brilliant little readjustment there from JR. HONORIS, they're certainly going to be sweating now for their prospects at train, and they've gone for the full eco in the second. That's the guaranteed 13 you're expecting for HELLRAISERS.
Now out, a couple of players looking towards A main slowly. HONORIS, well, if they walk into the scout, that would be an issue. And if Azuz somehow gets a kill, I would be amazed. Prism, though, does open things up quite cleanly. In fact, JR and Flaric, they seem to have little issues holding off this push. Flaric makes that look easy. And while Stomp was wanting something with Azuz, hasn't been given anything. The bomb's been lost. HONORIS, who again give up another round.
Stomp has the Zeus, but the range of that weapon notoriously fickle, and there are no HELLRAISERS players, even in this same postcode at this point, with a whole minute left on the clock. You can't imagine it's the entire time and hope somebody walks into his Zeus crosshairs, but this seems at least what he's content with doing in the early instances. He knows that the second he walks out of that door, he's going to be wrecked by the CT rifles holding in towards that A bomb site, so he's going to try and wait for, at least for now, too smart to give it to him.
And HR just really don't need to do anything at this point. The CIS squad, they've got the bomb drop, they've got control of everything, they're just watching all the angles, they're just being smart about this. It just certainly feels like there is a bit of a skill gap between these two sides at this point here, with how HELLRAISERS, they're being just so casual, so comfortable about holding onto the site, more or less respecting these last players, and while they are now looking for something to Glock, if it gets 1 or 2 kills off of this, that would be something, but he's just too hungry for Zeus. Nothing's got to come in, and with the time expired, that's round 13 going HELLRAISERS' way. No bomb plant, little money. HONORIS have to convert this now.
Why has Stomp done that? Why cripple his own money like that? He just bought a Zeus in the round and he decides not to give himself loss bonus just so that he can wait around in Pop Dog and maybe get a Zeus kill. Now the rest of his team are on a buy and he can't afford a rifle because he just sat there doing nothing for a whole minute. Really perplexing decision from my perspective, but now Honoris are regressing out in towards the A bomb site. Jalem coming through the smoke is punished by Taz, and HELLRAISERS looking for the reply. It's Neo to get that follow-up headshot. The lack of firepower seemingly not mattering for Honoris at this point.
Well, Taz looks to double up, finds the kill back, but JR's the man to again respond. HR, they're at a disadvantage. Honoris, they could really now take control in this gun round. And while we said Stomp doesn't have a weapon to work with, I don't really think that's mattered. His teammates have found the kills. The AKs have done all the work. It's a chance and hope for the Poles. 5. They've still got to get a good 7 or 8 rounds to even consider tying up this game.
HELLRAISERS, their economy is such a mixed bag that they look as though they want to go for the money bump in this round. Just bring their cash to an equal perspective. That way, even if they lose, everyone's taking ecos at the same time, and we don't have to take another save because one person's money is behind in a particular round. Stomp finally just wastes that Zeus for absolutely nothing. His team did convert the round prior, though, so he does have at least a small excuse to do so. JR has got an AWP in hand, but it's completely glass cannon, so lightning quick reaction is necessary from that CT sniper.
Resmoker Pop Dog. HELLRAISERS unexpectedly really stacked towards the A site. Neo wasn't the player who got spotted out. I think the player in Pop just got caught out, and there's the AWP coming into play. JR actually reacts to find that kill. And there might be a 1-1 out of this for the HONORIS side, but for now, HELLRAISERS, they are closing in on the site. 5-7, or sorry, PT50 from behind. Certainly tried for the damage. They've kept this close, but it's Ryko and Prism now left to find 3 more defenders.
The positive for HELLRAISERS is it's just the pistols to have fallen so far, and Ryko, who had a nightmarish first half, now has to find 3 here in this retake, and only 1 he's able to find. HELLRAISERS reply immediately with a round of their own, putting 14 on the board and closing out that force. Their economy still going to be a little bit ropey heading forward into this next round, but HONORIS, they're going to buy up simply because they have to. They can't afford HELLRAISERS map point.
HELLRAISERS, they kept the AWP just to try and minimize the economic investment going forward, so that'll be a weapon for JR to use. Teammates M4s and the odd AK in the mix. The HONORIS buy isn't too perfect, but it's still pretty convincing considering issues they've had in the early stages in terms of money. And some AKs, a pistol on Neo, and JR towards stop sign wanted to at least get involved in the initial engagement. Let's look quite heavily down towards Ivy. In fact, it's slow, and the early utility damage is so great by the CT side.
Ryko aggressive, and this time he can punish Jalem, who tries to reclaim Pop Dog, but actually Kalinka can get 1 back. Now Taz is flashed in well to find Flaric. That brings the man advantage back in Honoris' favor, but again, it looks as though HELLRAISERS are attempting some pop aggression here, and Problem could be in trouble. Instead, he wants to walk all the way for the long flank, and that means that Kalinka and JR, they've got to stay alive for an incredibly long time. Kalinka could get the lineup on the player who's just come out of Ivy as well, and JR looks like he wants to drop down with the AWP. This play is going to be a pincer maneuver back in towards the A bomb site for HELLRAISERS, and it started with Kalinka whiffing that spray down and his potential opportunity. Problem now onto Stomp, at least with 1 kill. Taz low on top of the train, he's shadow spotted. That's converted now as the rifle goes perhaps bigger, instead denied, and JR with 6 HP would have 2 to find with this AWP.
Oh, this is such a tough idea, or a tough idea for JR to really work with. Not impossible, but he's got 2 players to find, both somewhat tagged up awesome, and a pistol might be what he opts to work with instead, but use your AWP, look towards the long range angles. 1 player on site, the other towards stop sign. No kit and no utility. Certainly a downgrade. Spots the player on site, Ryko gone, so the lower health player dead. Means an AK now is left standing, but JR losing time means he just backs away and keeps the weapon he has. Honorable idea, but not ideal. HONORIS, they fight back to get 6.
For my money, I think JR should have gone for that. Yes, his team have no money, and yes, he's got an AWP on his back. All of those things instantly scream at you, don't go for it. But as soon as he converts that kill, second player on quite low HP, you obviously can't be sure whether that information has been communicated over. And time elements, they're going to buy up in the next round. You have to guarantee if you lose the situation and go away and save, right? So your AWP you'd expect to have to use with an eco. Instead, HELLRAISERS forced around it, which is a perplexing decision for my money, but they want to take these rounds early, and this pop dog aggression might just get it. Flarich, he's in the perfect position. Nobody peeking this actively for HONORIS, and he's just going to pop up as soon as they explode out onto B.
Well, problem. You set off the smoke, and I don't believe Flarich has actually pushed his way up into the ladder yet, so it's just a waiting game for HELLRAISERS. They wait for this player or the set of HONORIS players to now push up before they play and aggress the pop dog player up ladder. The utility comes in. HR, 3 players looking to defend this. JR and Ryko already allowed straight out. And look how close the UMP gets 3 of them. That could be the game more or less completed now. Prism, he's got a kill, but he's got to find 4 individual players.
Oh, HONORIS attempting to get into the B site, but there's one huge problem for it, and it is problem from HELLRAISERS, who finds the triple kill with the UMP. Now they're going into the buy on this one, and just excellent timing. Peeks around correctly and then can convert that double spray before HONORIS are able to communicate where he is. Now they're 1 away from closing out the opening match of the day, and HONORIS, they would need an impressive amount of rounds at this point. 9 in a row to take us to overtime, and starting off with just the pistols and SMGs in this, it could be all over already.
Well, Mac 10's at least rushed in towards Olof, but Prism, he's already taken so much damage, and he really could die off of this. The scout, I thought, was going to go for the kill, but Kalinka with the deal can at least deliver 1 initial kill, and that nade, it could certainly set up something in Hy-Vee. Stomp and Taz spamming to get kills back. So quickly a 2-on-2, and not one that HELLRAISERS could necessarily throw away.
With Stomp now down, Taz has the weight of the world on his shoulders. Deagle to work with alongside 62 points of health up against an M4, an AWP, and 2 smokes to keep him out of the sight. If he chose to aggress into A, he's using his time with 50 seconds, but he's given himself away now. And that just makes things all the more difficult. Dropping a smoke to bait his cross into B, that's going to trigger JR's rotation over, but it's not convinced problem whatsoever, who stayed tall, and those shots are enough to end the map in HELLRAISERS' favour. 16-6 in this opening match.
Well, what a dominant and what a comfortable performance